Okay, so good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another Meaningful Monday. Here in Australia, today was actually a public holiday, and I had a wonderful day. I went out to the botanical gardens. So for all those who are on the call and those who couldn't make the call due to the public holiday, I just hope that you had a wonderful day today. And then for anyone who's new on this call or listening to this for the first time, let me just say a very big warm welcome. And just briefly to give you some background, Meaningful Monday is just really a conversation about raising awareness that we do in fact create our own reality. And it's quite interesting as it dovetails tonight's title, because the title is not this much in sync with creating your own reality as tonight's words create your reality. So Meaningful Monday is all about really helping us navigate life in a better way and with more awareness. Sometimes we know things. We know them at an intellectual level, but we don't actually change anything in our life to give us different results. And I think Meaningful Monday sometimes speaks about topics that you may say, I've heard this before. I know this, Jeanine. I heard this years ago. Whatever it may be. It's one thing to know something, and it's something else to actually integrate it into your life and make changes in your life for better results. So when I say we create our own reality, this is not my opinion. This is the law of one of the universal laws. We do create our own reality. We create it with, first and foremost, our thoughts, and every thought is like a trigger. It's like switching a button on or switching a light switch on. The minute we think a thought, we have an emotion. And whatever that emotion is what's creating our reality, because it puts us into a different mood, or what we call a state of vibration. And whatever that level is, we attract the same into our life. In other words, if you're feeling feelings of anger due to thoughts you're holding about anger, you will attract more experiences into your life that trigger more and more anger. And some people wonder, why is this happening to them, that they're having all these experiences that bring them anger? The truth is, whether you're aware of it or not, probably not aware, you are thinking thoughts that are generating anger. And the same goes for gratitude or joy or love or peace. Whatever it is that we're holding in our thoughts create emotions, and emotions create our life. So that's generally the law of attraction. So tonight's lesson is an incredibly powerful one, and it's one that you really would probably say, I know this. And even though you may know this, to spend about 45 minutes to an hour talking about words and how they do really and literally create your reality is a very, very good hour spent. So stay with this until the end, because the more aware we become and the higher we raise this awareness, the more opportunity we have for change, because change starts with awareness. And let me just say that intellectual understanding, knowing, is often not enough. There are so many things that even I myself know. I don't practice every single one of them. I wish I did. However, the more it's reinforced, the awareness is more it's reinforced upon me, the more inclined I am to start making incremental changes. Because remember, as human beings, we don't make drastic changes. As much as we may think we do, we don't really make drastic changes. We make incremental changes. Our subconscious mind has a tendency to keep us in the status quo. So as we start changing things, all kinds of triggers, self-sabotaging behaviors, thoughts against our intentions will come up to keep us where we are. So change, if it was so easy, we would all just be living a life of having everything we want. That is why we need to be intentional when it comes to change. So when I say, if you want better results, we need to be intentional with change, there is probably not a subject of higher importance than the one I'm going to discuss tonight about words. Someone else has joined the call. Hi, is that Denise?
Ciao.
Ciao, okay, hi. I'm just going to put these mics on to mute because there's just a bit of noise here, but welcome. Thanks for joining. So when we say words create our reality, this is written everywhere. There's so many books written on it, and books that go back decades ago, some even centuries ago, about this truth. And as much as we, as I said earlier, have an intellectual understanding, we sometimes fail to recognize the significance of taking the statement literally. And I want to create the awareness in this Meaningful Monday that we need to take this statement literally. Words are literally creating your reality. Whether you're a person of faith or any faith or no faith, I'm just going to quote something which actually comes out the Bible in the first book of John, and it says, in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God. Meaning, the Word created everything. The Word created everything. So the words you speak hold incredible power. And for the majority of us, we really underestimate it at a very significant level. So we may, as I said, have heard this before, we even know this. However, it is way more work to be impeccable with your word than what we think. So as much as we may know this, to actually practice being impeccable with your word takes a very high level of awareness and a very strong degree of discipline, continuous self-reflection, self-evaluation, self-awareness, and this discipline. And the other thing is that we are far better when it comes to other people and our words we speak with other people than what we do with ourselves. We can be pretty harsh with ourselves. And I'll just add, when I refer to words, I'm also going to include how we speak to ourselves, even in our thoughts, because we think in words. You cannot think a thought that's not in words. You can try. You can even think, that lady's got a pretty dress. I like the look of that little dog. We think in words. So the dialogue we have is going on inside ourselves, in our head, and I'm including that when I talk about words create your reality. If you read a book like As a Man Thinketh. And I'm also including words that we speak out loud, which are a symbolic representation of our thoughts. So once we speak words, we've thought this before. And most often, a lot, quite repeatedly, before it actually comes out of our mouth as words. So when words do come out of our mouth, it's a wonderful opportunity to become very aware of what we've actually been thinking. So I hope by the end of this 45 minutes to an hour we're going to spend together, when you leave here, your ears will be tuned and more alert to what is actually coming out of your mouth. And if that's all that changes after this Meaningful Monday, I will be so grateful and I will feel so truly satisfied, because I know this will be extremely helpful, because we just talk and we don't even hear what we're saying. You know, one of the most valuable things you could do is carry a dictaphone around for a day and record conversations you have with people and listen back to them, and you will just hear how many times we run ourselves down and say negative things. So really, really getting this idea or this awareness that words create your reality can totally transform your life. And this is not an exaggeration. If this was the only thing that you did and practiced for the next 30 days with serious intention, I can promise you, my friends, it will literally transform your life. A person can be living in the same suburb, in the same street, in the same 200 meters from each other, and the one can feel like they're living in hell, and the other one can feel like they're living in heaven on earth. And you know what the difference is? The words, the dialogue in their own head, and what they're saying when they're speaking to people. So if you want to know what your view is of the world and how you're perceiving things, just listen to what comes out of your mouth and what you say. Further than that, that's what we think. Further than that, that it's telling us what we're thinking and what we're feeling. The words we are saying are creating our future too. They're creating our future reality. It's metaphysics. We are creating our future, and our words that we're saying now are going to create the future we have tomorrow. I just want to give you a quick, I'll share a quick story with you. A person that I know recently got together with me. We had a cup of coffee, and this guy told me, I wrote it down, these words: jobs are not easily available in my industry. He said, there's just nothing out there, absolutely nothing. So listen to what he said. How absolute, in which absolute terms he speaks. There's nothing out there, absolutely nothing. Now look, I have no way to validate his situation, but my strong sense was that it's impossible, that there's absolutely no jobs out there. I don't think it's possible, and I will never believe it's impossible. What I can say is, if he's going to think that way and speak that way, he's going to experience that. That's going to be his reality. And I can tell you, somebody else who just says with a positive and optimistic mindset the very opposite thing, the right thing will come to me. I'm sure the perfect job will just show up. The one I never got probably wasn't the best one for me. And it was in positive terms like that, will create and manifest what it is that they want. It's got a couple of people sending me messages here probably about this webinar. I just want to check if they're struggling to get on. Sorry, apologize. Just want to check. Okay. So all I can say is I encourage this person to stay positive, to stay proactive. However, I couldn't help think that how easily words become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're making notes, anybody, just write that down. The words you speak are creating a reality, and they become a self-fulfilling prophecy for you, because the words you speak hold incredible power. I love this. I'll just read this to you. It says, the words you speak hold power, power to create new possibilities or to shut them down, power to build relationships or to damage them, power to lift people up or to pull them down, yourself included. When you think about words and the power they have, just think about bullying. I'm quite passionate about this topic. I think a lot more needs to be done. I believe that everybody, whether you're a parent or not, have a responsibility to do something about bullying. Whether you see it, whether you're having a conversation, that's a separate topic. But think about bullying and the power of words in bullying. We know the extreme negative results of bullying result in often self-harm. The statistics are really high. Even in Australia, I'm not too sure exactly, but I heard it's about 60 youths a year commit suicide from bullying. And for every one that commits suicide, there's about 150 to 170 that have attempted it. That's from bullying. Can you just see the power of words and what extreme negative results they can create? They're very powerful. If we only realized how powerful our words are, both on ourselves and on others, we would do far less complaining. So I just want to raise this awareness talking about complaining. I also have a slide coming up that talks about this on its own. But think about how often you ever say these words. I think if you're making notes, write down these statements and make them massive red flags. The first one is to ever say, it's impossible to blah, blah, blah. It's impossible is a massive red flag. Take it out your vocabulary. There's no such thing. Everything is possible. There's miracles created and have been throughout history, throughout time, still today. What is impossible? Be careful how we use the words impossible. It's an exaggerated statement. However, when using it, it has a creative power. Also, you are speaking in a way that your brain is taking everything literally. So you're not allowing any possibility for your life when you use the statement, it's impossible. Another one would be, I'm totally hopeless at blah, 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 or I'm no good at blah, blah, blah. When you ever catch yourself telling someone what you're not good at, I have a bad memory, I don't easily remember people's names, oh, I always forget. All of these are reinforcing this that you're complaining about, this that you don't want. So if you don't like it, stop saying it. So there's another one. I'm bad at, I'm no good at, I'm hopeless at, words like that. Another one is this term people use, I had no choice. Really? You had no choice? There's never such a thing as you have no choice. I've just been reading the most amazing book by Neil Donald Walsh called Tomorrow's God. And there's a section there on relationships, and he's saying that, something about being in an intimate relationship and, you haven't got a choice. And the conversation comes back, this dialogue between Neil Donald Walsh and God, we can't do this and we can't do that. And the response is, you always have a choice. And then Neil says, yes, but society doesn't deem it appropriate. You can't just go and sleep with other people if you're in a relationship, just as an example. And the answer is, of course, you have a choice, not that you can't. You choose not to. It's still a choice. And if you chose to do it, that's a choice. And the person who knows you're doing this can make another choice. Are they going to stay with you while you do this? Or are they going to choose to leave and, carry on and move on? But either way, we have a choice. Even if someone holds a gun to your head, I'm being extreme now, you still have a choice. You can do it or not do it. You always have a choice. So write that down. That is a definite extreme exaggeration. Don't say I had no choice. I had to go to work today. I had to. I don't have a choice. You didn't have to. You chose to. Even paying taxes, which is, law, is still a choice. So that's another one. So when we use terms like it's impossible to, I'm totally hopeless at, I had no choice, these undermine your power and undermine your own self-image and your self-value, and they limit your future in some way, even if it's unintentional. So in neuroscience, it's been proven that our subconscious mind takes what it hears literally, very literally. And this is why when words come out your mouth, they create your reality. For better or worse, they're creating your reality. And we often unconsciously sabotage our success simply by using negative language and limiting dialogue or limiting language. So, we human beings, we love sharing. That's why there's Facebook is so successful, Instagram is so successful, YouTube, we love sharing. So this is what we do as human beings. This is how we relate to people. However, when we repeatedly talk about our problems, we are just reinforcing our problems. We are actually creating more of the same. Because when we talk about it, these thoughts create emotions. And if you talk about your problems, you're going to go through the same emotions as you're going through the story. And remember, your emotions are the creative force. That's what's the universal law of attraction. It comes from our emotions. Your emotions are your guidance system. Feel good, you get more good. Feel bad, you're going to get more bad. So remember, thinking about your problems, don't talk about your problems. Talk about what it is that you want, what it is that you'd prefer. Don't talk about your problems. Raise your awareness. Whenever you catch yourself complaining and talking about your problems, stop. Also, we so often run ourselves down. I wish there was some invention that could, listen to our dialogue and give us a beep or a prod or something every time we ran ourselves down, because we don't think we do it, but we really do it a lot. Most people do it every day, several times a day. And this damages our self-confidence. Every time you run yourself down, you literally chip away a little bit of your own self-confidence. So negative self-talk, saying words like can't. Here's a couple more. If you're making notes, write these down. Can't. Eliminate can't from your vocabulary as much as possible. Somehow, some way you can. There's no such thing as you can't. Somehow, some way you can. Don't use the word impossible. I've mentioned that already. Never say you're not good at something. Don't say that you don't have a good anything, good memory, good understanding of something. You're not good at maths, or you're not good at art, or whatever it may be. Quit saying that. And if you like that thing, say, I'd love to be better at that. That's okay to say. I'd love to be better at that. Okay. So the bottom line is words create your reality literally. So let's carry on here. I just want to go back quickly. It says at the bottom there, listen to older recordings of Meaningful Monday. They're all recorded. So this one is also recorded. It'll be on YouTube. So you're welcome to speak. If you don't wish to speak or be seen, I've turned the cameras on the recording off. But there are several other Meaningful Mondays which you can review if you wish to. So be impeccable with your word. Never criticize, condemn, or complain. That actually comes from How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's in that book. And this is the most valuable thing. It's the 3 C's. I would challenge everyone to give this a one-day challenge. See if you can go one day, just one day, without criticizing anything or complaining about anything. And if you can succeed, give yourself a massive pat on the back, high five, and then go again. Try and do that for 7 days. Maybe link a friend in with you and catch each other criticizing or complaining, and then try and do it for 30 days. I know this sounds like a funny little challenge to do, like what's it worth? This can transform your life. So let's try use our words only in the direction of truth and love. And remember, what we do to others, we actually do to ourselves. So last month, the Meaningful Monday was about taking it personally. And I said, to sum it up, take nothing personally. Anything that anyone says is never about you. As much as you think it is, it's never about you. It's always about them. They would never say what they're saying if they weren't coming from a place inside themselves that needs to throw that out, whether it's positive or negative. It's never about you. Never take it personally. That was the whole sum up of last month. If you want to listen to it, it is recorded. Have a go. So why I'm telling you this is with criticism. When we're criticizing others, we're actually doing harm to ourselves. It needs to be something you're aware of, that you have incredible self-criticism. You could never criticize another if you had no self-criticism. It's impossible. You cannot give away what you do not have. If it comes out your mouth and you're criticizing someone else, trust me, you are criticizing yourself, even if it's just in your head, in your thoughts. The same as complaining. If you're complaining out verbally about that person or that thing or that event or the weather or the traffic or the economy or the politics, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You are complaining in your head, and you are complaining and running yourself down too. So try to speak about positive things and speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Don't exaggerate. And also avoid using words against yourself. So I actually looked up the word impeccable, and it comes from the Latin word, or the Latin source, the peccable part, so it's not being peccable. And that from the Latin root word means to sin against yourself. Basically, it means to go against yourself. So when we speak and we criticize, we're harming ourselves. If we complain, we're harming ourselves. And how we speak is a habit, including gossip. It's a habit. It's a learned behavior. So that's why I said take the 7-day challenge and see if you can break that habit. And then try and use your words only in the direction of truth and love. Give that a shot. Try to raise your awareness on speaking truth, talking in positive terms about what you want, and loving. Avoid gossip. So let me just tell you that gossip actually has a necessary place in society, and it's ingrained in us. We are wired as human beings to gossip. And I found this out doing the preparation for this webinar tonight to understand gossip. And it says it was initially used for survival socially. So we are wired. However, when we do gossip, it's generally because we're trying to gain the support of others for our own point of view. And it just comes from the ego. We're trying to make our own opinion right. We're trying to justify ourselves or our actions, whatever it may be. So when we are gossiping, it can actually be very damaging. It can be damaging on other people's reputations. You can change people's perception of someone else, which can be damaging. It not only can cause hurt to others, but it can harm us. If you know that you've really gossiped about someone and you really said more than you should have said, be honest. You can't feel good about yourself. Surely not. It doesn't feel good to be unkind. So it says that gossip can cause trouble in your inner life as well as your outer life. In your inner life, because it doesn't feel good and it's a bad habit, and we repeat it and we feel bad about it, and to feel bad about yourself breaks again down self-esteem, self-confidence. It creates emotions of guilt. All of these are negative. All these negative emotions even lead to ill health, having a sense of dis-ease, which is disease in us. So when it comes to gossip, I just got 5 quick tips here on how we can rein gossip in. We should really avoid it as much as possible. So to rein it in, here's number 1. Limit your gossip to one person, at the most 2. And do this to people that someone you're really close to, because we do need to offload and we do need to share. So just help each other share. However, when you're doing it, try not to negatively run the person down. Try to just state the facts and express how you feel without actually running that other person down and kind of damaging their reputation. Try to create a new habit that you don't speak badly about anyone ever. Also, if you're having this with one person, decide together that you're going to help each other elevate the conversation to how we could be better. Make that the focus. If you want to gossip, instead of talking about the other person being bad, rather turn it around and say, how could I be better in this situation? And try to look for the good in the other person and see how many things you can say that are positive about that person. So that's the first one. Limit it to one person and turn it around not to be so unkind. The second thing is be aware of how it feels afterwards. Your emotions are guiding you. It doesn't feel good to speak unkindly about anyone. So if it feels bad, don't do it. Thirdly, if you are standing with a group of people and someone else is gossiping, change the subject and say so openly. Say, I think it's time to change the subject. Make light of it, but let people be aware that you are not wanting to partake in negative talk about someone else. They'll quickly catch the hint. If you said, I think we should change the subject, they'll quickly understand that this doesn't feel right. They'll probably feel a little bit guilty and they'll jump on the bandwagon with you and change the subject. Remember, we are all teachers. You may not be a certified teacher with a diploma or a degree, but all our actions are teaching others all the time. So your actions teach others. So when it comes to gossip, you be the leader and say, let's change the subject and talk about something more pleasant. The other thing about gossip is don't believe everything you hear. As I said earlier, some people gossip to try to justify their own point of view or to make themselves right in a situation that's a bit complicated or a bit messy. And when they say things, they may say things to you the way they're saying them. If you're going to believe everything you hear, you may change your point of view about that person. Always judge someone by the relationship you have with them, not by the relationship someone else has with them. It's not your business. And the truth is, in my own life, I have got wonderful relationships with some people, and other people in my life have no relationship with that person. So if I had to listen to that person's view of that person, I would also have a negative view. Never judge someone by someone else's point of view of them. Always judge a person by your own personal relationship with them and hold that sacred. That's a sacred space, the way you relate to them. So if someone else wants to run that person down, stop that in its tracks and don't let it perpetuate. And lastly, as I said just earlier, take the one-day gossip fast. It was also complaining and criticizing. But when it goes for gossip, take a one-day fast. If you can do that, wonderful. Do it for 7 days. Tick it off in your diary. See if you could do it for 7 days. Not speak a single word badly about anyone. In fact, find good things to say about people and talk about that. And then see if you can go for 30 days. My late brother, Jamie, his mom, Lola, who's my stepmom, she's also sadly passed on. She taught me this many, many years ago. She said to me one day, darling, before you speak, ask yourself, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? So that's the test. I caught myself this very week thinking something, and I kind of hinted, I thought something, I didn't say it. And the person I was talking to said, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think it is about someone. And I just intuitively didn't know if I should or shouldn't, and I didn't feel quite right. And then I just came to this knowledge, and I spat it out right there and then, and I said, you know what? Before I say anything, I'm going to ask myself, is it true? Is it necessary? It's not necessary. Is it kind? Probably not. So excuse me for almost going there, but I'm not going to go there. So forget what I said. I'm not going to say anything. So catch yourself and amend it, modify, improve, change yourself. If you can catch yourself next time, before you gossip or say anything about somebody else, make sure it passes all three of these criteria. Okay. This wonderful man, Don Miguel Ruiz, he's the author of a book called The 4 Agreements, and one of the agreements in the book is actually be impeccable with your word. So this comes out as a quote from him. He says, the word is not just a sound or a written symbol. The word is a force, a force. It is the power you have to express and communicate, to think, and thereby to create the events in your life. You can Google infinitely. You will find that words create. They create. They have creative power. The word is the most powerful tool you have as a human. It is a tool of magic. And it's very true. Once you can come to this awareness that the words you use are literally creating your experience, you might want to just have a bit of house cleaning there, a bit of eliminating of certain words and maybe incorporating some new ones. So words don't just reflect your reality, they actually create your reality. And this is very true. Words are a double-edged sword. They can be beautiful and they can be very, very ugly. Your word can create the most beautiful dream, or your word can destroy everything around you. Just think of this that's in this quote below here from Jeff Brown. It says words, so powerful, so powerful. They can crush a heart or heal it. Let's just take this really slow. Let's not rush through this quote. It's so true. Think about a relationship with somebody that went wrong, that was ended very painfully, or maybe currently is painful that you're experiencing now. It's from the words you are sharing between each other and things that they've said. Their words can literally crush your heart. By the same token, think about someone who you absolutely adore, who you love, who loves you, who makes you feel amazing, and know how their words can heal you. They can make you feel amazing. By the same token, let's look at the next sentence. They can shame a soul or liberate it. People can feel terrible shame from words spoken from another person's mouth. They are very powerful. They can shatter dreams or energize them. How many people do you know? I've heard tons of people, so many, talk about when they shared their dreams with people, how they said, oh, you can't do that, that's impossible. They shattered their dreams. That's why some people don't want to talk about their dreams. And in fact, in the book Think and Grow Rich, it says keep it to yourself. Don't talk about it, because you're bound to have your dreams shattered by the people who are closest to you. They don't mean to, but they probably can't help it, because if they can't see themselves doing it, I mean, they can't see you doing it, or I don't know why they do it, but it's very common that the people closest to you often are the ones with the words of doubt when you're speaking about big dreams. By the same token, when you talk about your dream, someone can say something and the words give you the feeling that they believe in you, that they believe in your ability to achieve it, and it gives you immense power. You know, Les Brown always says sometimes when you don't believe in yourself, you need to borrow someone else's belief in you to achieve your dream. And that's very true. And that comes from words. That's why, you know, even like, for example, school teachers, they can say something to a child and literally change their life. They can make them become wonderful and great achievers, or they can crush them and put the person into a small space for the rest of their life. It says they can obstruct connection or invite it. Think about a conversation, a sensitive conversation that you're having, an important conversation. Doesn't matter if it's with a loved one, with a significant other, a family member, your boss at work, a colleague, a friend. Saying things can either increase the connection you have with someone, or it can separate the two of you just from your words. They can create defenses and put us on the back foot and make us close our heart, close our mind, or they can melt them away. They can melt away your defenses and make you open your heart, make yourself more vulnerable. There's nothing more beautiful in this world than being open and vulnerable and raw, because that's how we are our best. That's when we are our true, authentic selves without any fear of getting hurt. That's when we connect the most with people. And your words can literally melt away these defenses and open the pathway to better relationships, deeper connections, better communication, and much, much more love. And by the same token, it can do the very opposite. So when it comes to things that you say, think before you speak, and only say things that you mean, especially in a heated conversation. How we often say things when we're having an argument, only to regret them afterwards. And you know what? You can say sorry, however, you can never take it back. And people may never forget that. So the rule of thumb is only say what you mean when having an argument. Here are just some quotes. Your words can be powerful, then can hurt or uplift. How true. So think before you speak. Every word you say counts. The one below there, words can make you sick or healed. This is so true. Words can make you sick. And not only your words, by the way. If you listen to negative people too often, all the time, they're affecting you. They're affecting your health. They can make you sick. Words create worlds. Literally. The universe is always listening. And so are your cells, the cells of your body. When you say, I'm sick and tired of the traffic, what are you saying? If you say that often enough, and your subconscious mind takes everything literally, it's going to bring it on. It's going to say, you've given me 10 orders for sick and tired. Here it comes. I'm bringing you an order of sick, and you're going to feel tired, and there you go. You don't feel well. Your psyche is always listening. Your subconscious mind never sleeps, and it takes everything literally, as I said. Your children are always listening. When you say negative things, you might think they're playing over there because they're talking to themselves or talking to friends. They absorb everything. So be aware what's coming out your mouth and how you're speaking about yourself or other people. Your team. I love this. And the apples. I'm going to talk about that. It might seem a bit funny, this person wrote, and the apples. There's a video. It's actually on my Silva Method Facebook page, and you can look it up on YouTube, where IKEA did an experiment for 30 days with 2 plants. and they asked people to walk past the one plant and bully it verbally every day, and the other plant to encourage it, give it words of love, words of appreciation, words of positive encouragement. And the one plant literally just wilted and was starting to die from being bullied with words, and the other plant was thriving. So it says, and the apples. It's because plants are affected by positive and negative words. Plants. They know that cows produce better quality milk when they are loved and they're given words of appreciation and they're stroked and they may be listening to classical music. These are all studies that have got scientific proof. It's the same with you and your health and your well-being. Your words are very powerful. And you know, Wayne Dyer, if anyone knows Dr. Wayne Dyer, he healed himself from leukemia. Of course, he did several modalities. He meditated. He was a very spiritual man. He used a lot of prayer. But he talks about words. And he used every day affirming, I am well. I am perfect health. I am content. I am healed. Repeatedly. And he cured himself of leukemia. So your words are very powerful. I can tell you this. If someone affirmed every day the opposite and kept affirming that they were unwell and they were sick, they will become it. Your words have creative power. I just want to quickly remind you that two extreme examples. A man like Hitler, his word incited fear in people, causing atrocious suffering, incredible violence, unbelievable cruelty from his words. By the same token, think of Gandhi. His word led a country's transformation in peace. There was violence being inflicted on these people, but from his word, he was able to influence an entire nation to respond peacefully. That's the power of the word. So be impeccable with your word. With a strong intention, you can change and you can make a new agreement with yourself that your words will always uplift others. Make that commitment to yourself today that you're going to become a person, when you open your mouth and speak, your intention is to leave people feeling better after speaking to you than they felt before they spoke to you. Become that person, always uplifting, always positive. When someone's complaining, don't go down and meet them with that mutuality, because people want to have mutuality. This is what human beings strive for. We want to be related to. When people are complaining about all their problems, don't slip down and meet them there and say, yes, you know, it's true, it is terrible. Be the one to uplift. Be the one to uplift. Be the leader. Lead by example. Tell the person, there's a positive side. What's the positive side? How can we feel better about this? Change their mind somehow, some way. Make them aware what they're saying is not helpful. Say to them, okay, what is it that you want? The person's complaining, this and this. Say, okay, stop. Repeatedly stop them and say, tell me what it is that you prefer. Tell me what it is that you want. Let the person speak about the positive things that they want, not the things they don't want and all their problems. Make an agreement with yourself that your words will always heal, that you won't be the one to damage and hurt. It'll be words of healing, always loving, not breaking relationships, healing relationships, creating more love in relationships. Make an agreement with yourself that as much as you can possibly be aware and act on, your words are positive and not negative. Make your words that soothe others and yourself. If you're not feeling good, use your words and your thoughts to self-soothe. Just say, it is what it is. It's okay. I can get through this. Hopefully I'll feel better in an hour. Maybe I just need to have a good sleep. Thankfully, I've got people who love me. Thankfully, I've got whatever it is in my life. I can turn to this. I've got that. I'm got a roof over my head. I've got a food on the table, whatever it is. Self-soothe using your words. And if you can't be loving, my suggestion is at least be neutral. I just put a few phrases here. If you want to be neutral, if you can't go to being positive because things are really not working, just say neutral things. This will work itself out. This requires a bit of a pause for me. Maybe I'll go for a walk. Let me take a moment to breathe and calm down. This does not have to affect me without my permission. I love that. Say that, affirm yourself. This does not have to affect me without my permission. I choose how I feel. I'm not going to let this affect me. Or say this will be okay. Somehow, someway, this will be okay. So be impeccable with your word. Make sure it uplifts, it heals, it loves, it's positive, and it's soothing. I just thought I'd add this in. It's quite important, especially around children. Children are our future. And children are like sponges. We know this. So whether it's your own children, other people's children, here are just a few things. Be aware of words with children, especially as parents. Beware of comparing children to their siblings or other children, period. Whether they're better than or less than. I would avoid comparing totally. I heard this quote once. It says, comparison is the thief of joy. Remember, even if you're comparing your child and you're making them better than others, that's not good either. That's exactly the same as another form of gossip. Everyone has value. Find the value in everyone. Point out the value in that other child with appreciation. Never compare, whether it's up or down. Take it out completely. Criticizing a child's abilities, temperament, or characteristics has irreparable damage. You want your child to be self-confident, to have wonderful self-esteem. Without it, they cannot achieve anything. They can have the whole world believing in them. They can have all the abilities and talents that God could ever give one person. If they don't have self-esteem and self-confidence, and they don't believe in themselves, it's over. So, criticism. Avoid criticism. Avoid that your child conforms. We so desperately want people to be like us, especially, I'm sure, if we have children. Also, continuously harping about mistakes. Every time you talk about it, in some way, you're reinforcing that with your words. Also, teaching that a child's dreams, aspirations, and goals are impossible to reach. Nothing's impossible. My mother's on this call tonight. I want to just say this with her on the call and to her and in front of everyone. The one thing my mother always did when I was growing up from a tiny age, before I could speak, she told me, you can do anything. She kept telling me that. You can do anything. And all I can say is, thank God I believed her. Because between 0 and 7, everything a child hears it believes. I believed her. Do you know that has shaped my life? I've changed industry, not jobs, industries, several times in my life. Even what I'm doing today has got nothing to do with my 20 years of experience in corporate. Nothing. That takes self-confidence and believing that you can to do this. So with children, tell them their dreams are possible. Never tell a child their dreams are impossible. It may be impossible for you. Who says it's impossible for them? There's no such thing. Encourage them. Living their kids' lives and planning their careers. A no-no. Because they're different or not like you, never let them think that what they have in mind for themselves is wrong or silly or stupid or not good enough. Let them be who they want to be. We are meant to all be diverse and different in this world. Other thing, evaluating a child's intellectual capacity because of their grades? No way. And let me just tell you that a child's grades is only a reflection of their past thoughts. It's not a reflection of their reality. They can change it. If they had positive thoughts, positive visualizations, positive encouragement, a lot of I can dialogue in their heads and hearing it from parents or teachers or friends, I can, you can, believing in themselves, they can change everything. Also, zeroing in on so-called negative characteristics. The more you point things out, the more you are creating more of it. Point out their good things. Don't point out the negative things. Never praising. I read this when I was getting this information from doing some research. There's some parents who think that they shouldn't overpraise their children because they could gloat or become arrogant or full of themselves. Are we mad? Praise is the most valuable thing for a child. You do need to let them be aware of the difference between, for example, arrogance or contempt, to remain humble. But praise is what we all need. Think about yourself. You love to be told you've done something well, that you're good at something. This is how we develop a child's self-esteem. They need tons of praise. They need never-ending praise, especially the things they're good at and they do well and when they're well-behaved. Instead of always talking to them when they're misbehaving, talk to them when they're behaving. Praise them. They'll do more of that. They're getting attention on the positive side. Also demanding blind obedience. Do you think a person who has to behave that way will have the confidence to speak up as an adult, to be a leader? So here are some ways to improve a child's self-esteem just quickly, and they all come from words. Give your child choices. It helps giving them more self-confidence in themselves to make decisions. Don't do everything for children, no matter how small they are. Don't do everything for them. Give them more responsibilities. It helps them foster a sense of independence. This is so important. John Maxwell writes books on this. Let them know failing and making mistakes is part of life. Never let them think it's not a good thing to make a mistake. It's a terrible thing to fail. John Maxwell's book that I absolutely love, I've done a mastermind with children on it, is called Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn. There's nothing wrong with failing and making mistakes because we all do it. Every person on earth, if you're breathing, you've made a mistake. You failed at some point. We all do it, but we don't like it. However, if we can learn from it, we can become better and we can fail forward. So let them know failing and making mistakes is a part of life. The most important thing is to learn from it. Also, give them age-appropriate chores. And when they do them, praise them. Give them unconditional love. Tell them you love them no matter what, even when they fail, when they make bad decisions. Let them know if they've got a problem in life and they don't know where to turn, they can always turn to you. Encourage your child to take risks. Now, I'm not talking about encouraging them to be wild or do dangerous things, no, but encourage them to step outside their comfort zone and try things, knowing they may fail, knowing they may get it wrong. This is how you develop their self-esteem. Just as an example, the first time we do anything, we don't do it well. So when you're doing something new with a child, like catching a ball, hitting with a tennis racket, kicking a soccer ball, baking a cake, I don't know, building something, give them something extreme, saying, I want you to do this 100 times before you expect to get it right, because that's how we learn. Let them know learning is getting up, falling down, getting up, falling down. Explain to a child, show a child, a toddler that's learning to walk, and say, if they fell and never got it right walking the first time and said, that's it, I fell down, I can't walk, who would be walking? No, none of us would be walking. Babies don't know this yet, this thing about failure and the resistance that humans have to failure. So they get up and try again. They fall down, they get up and try again. We learn to walk this way. This would be a model example of learning to do everything this way. We learn and improve through repeatedly doing it. Keep doing it. Even when you don't do it perfectly, we don't do it 100%. Wonderful. We're learning. Also, a good thing to remind people, adults, children, whoever, is this. Learning is being in a state of confusion. I'm busy doing this radio course at the moment. There's a lady there, and she was very nervous about making mistakes using the panel in the radio station. And she kept saying, I'm confused. I'd rather not do it now. I need to come in here by myself and practice. I'm confused. And I said to you, it's a really good thing to be confused. It means you're learning. So just remind each other, confusion is a state of learning. That's how we learn. We're always confused while we're learning. It's a good thing. Okay, so being impeccable with your word can lead you to personal freedom, to huge success and abundance, It can take away all fear and transform it into joy and love. You just have to repeatedly say what you want, say the words you want, and you create what you want. You can transcend fear with words. You can talk yourself out of fear. You can also talk yourself into fear, but I'm not going to stress that. You can talk yourself out of fear just with your words. If you don't believe that you can do it, get a quote out of the Bible, anything. The Lord is my shepherd, repeat it over and over, something. You can transcend fear with words. As I said earlier, you can live in heaven amongst people living in hell, in the very same environment. It just depends what you're thinking and what you're saying. All right. This is important. I've got a Meaningful Monday called 10 Steps to Love Yourself or Learning to Love Yourself. I keep talking about it. I talk about it in every Meaningful Monday. I really recommend everyone go back and watch it if you haven't heard it before. Loving yourself is the bottom line determining factor of your life, your success, your abundance, your happiness, your relationships. Everything comes down to self-love. Everything. So please watch that. Here we pick up on the same theme again. How much you love yourself is directly proportionate to the quality and integrity of your word. If you're criticizing others, you don't have much self-love. If you have a lot of self-love, you'll be loving and praising others. I'm mentioning this because we need to see how life is a mirror of what's going on inside of ourselves. Hello? Did you want to say something? If anyone wants to speak, please go ahead. I just heard someone talk. They went off. If you do want to speak, go ahead. Just speak, interrupt me, stop me, make a comment. I'm quite happy with that. When you are impeccable with your word and you never use it against yourself or anyone else, you are happy. You feel good. You feel at peace. So be impeccable with your words. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. It's just a repeat. It's a reminder. Words are taken literally by your brain. So I said earlier, your subconscious mind takes everything literally. Just think about saying terms like this. Become very aware of the literal meaning of what we're saying. The literal meaning. This job is killing me. Cancel, cancel. I'm dying to go on holiday. I'm dying to eat a burger. Really? Or it's a pain in the neck to do the dishes. I'm sick and tired. Sorry, that's a spelling typo. And tired of this weather. This tax return is a big headache. When you say anything is a big headache, I wonder, do you suffer from headaches? I wouldn't be surprised if the person said yes. When a person says, how are you? Or how's work? Or how's life? Not too bad. Does it mean that it's generally bad? But right now it's not too bad, so it's less bad, but it's still overall generally is is an average bad. Or how are things going? No use complaining. Listen to what we're saying. It's no use complaining. She or he makes me sick. I'm putting this out there to be so aware. Listen to what you're saying, and your brain's taking it literally. In the Silva method, for those of you on the call, there's some people here like Marie who's done the Silva method. They're grads. We talk about this in the very beginning of day 1 of the 4-day program, about speaking in terms of what you want. Don't speak in terms of what you don't want. So when you say I'm tired, speak in terms of what you want. What is it that you want when you're saying you're tired? You could do with more energy. You could do with a good sleep. You could do with a good night's rest. You could do with an early night. Just say that. I could do with an early night tonight. Speak in terms of what you want. Anything about don't want. Just think about speaking to others, speaking to your children, speaking to a colleague. We say things like this: please don't be late. Speak in terms of what you want. When you say don't be late, what is it that you want? You want the person to be early. Please be early. A child's drinking something. Please don't spill. What is it that you want? Please drink carefully. Don't slam the door. Speak in terms of what you want. What do you want? Instead of saying don't slam the door, please close the door softly. I don't want to have to do this and that. Well, then speak in terms of what you do want. This is so important. Speak in terms of what you want. When you're listening to someone complain, help them by saying, hold on, whoa, 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 back up, back up, back up. Slow down. Tell me what it is that you want. And when they start complaining, go, whoa, 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 whoa. Tell me what it is that you want. Just keep saying that. You will help this person. If you can start speaking about what it is that you want, you're going to get more of what you want. When you speak about in terms of what you don't want, you are creating a picture in the brain, because the brain thinks in pictures of that thing that you don't want, and that is what we're creating. Remember, in The Secret or in the Law of Attraction, it says you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. It doesn't matter if you prefix it with the word don't. You get what you think about, whether you want it or not. Speak in terms of what you want. If you're making notes, this is the biggest note. Take this and make it the number one. Speak in terms of what you want. Catch yourself ever talking about it, is that what you don't want. In the Silva method, this is called mental house cleaning. We raise this awareness, we do an exercise, and I'm just going to share this with you briefly. I'm not going to go into it too long. But when you say something negative or using don't statements or can't or impossible, negative words, no worries, double negative, no problem, double negative, makes me sick, all those ones in the bubbles I had earlier, she makes me sick, I'm sick and tired of this, it's killing me. Go cancel, cancel, say it. Cancel, cancel. Use the phrase cancel, cancel, and then overwrite it with a positive affirmation and say what it is that you want. Instead of saying I'm tired, cancel, cancel, I could do with some more sleep. I could do with a good meditation. I could do with a good nap. And if you can use the term better and better, use it. So if you say something negative, I can't do whatever it is, cancel, cancel. Every day I'm getting better and better at whatever the thing is. How are you? Better and better. How's your business? Better and better. How's work? Better and better. There's a whole hour we could spend on this. If you want more of it, not a whole hour, but if you want an in-depth review of this cancel, cancel technique, which, by the way, is one of the most underestimated techniques that can transform your life, please, my friends, I urge you go back on my YouTube channel, Silva Method Australia, and go and listen. It's written at the bottom there, the 4 key skills to take charge of your life. We go into the cancel, cancel technique. I give you a whole lot of examples there and how to overwrite them. So use that. And even if you're thinking a negative thought, in your brain, go cancel, cancel, and overwrite it with a positive thought. Remember, you really must overwrite it with a positive one. Don't just cancel, cancel. Because what this is in neuroscience, we actually stop that negative neural pathway, which, by the way, is a habit. What we say and how we speak is a habit. So you interrupt the neural pathway. It's neuroscience and proven scientifically by using cancel, cancel. It's very powerful. It doesn't help to just say cancel, cancel. You've made the negative pathway and now you've left it there. You must overwrite it. So if you interrupt the pathway, it's a pattern interrupter, and you overwrite it with a positive affirmation, slowly but surely, you will reinforce the positive one, and over time, it will become your habitual pattern of behavior. And by the way, 80% of all our thoughts on average are negative. 80%. Imagine how you can transform your life if more and more of them became positive. So, your words create your reality. our level of mind, that means, are we in the alpha state? So right now when I'm talking, I'm in the beta state. If I went into a relaxation, I'd be in alpha, and a deeper level of mind is theta. That's where hypnotists put people when they hypnotize them, are going to theta. So that's a deeper level of mind. So our level of mind and our degree of emotional involvement are two things that add power to the words we use. It comes from Jose Silva. So just remember this yourself. And just to let you know, at alpha and theta levels, words have enormous increased power. So in the Silva method, we actually program our minds at the alpha and the theta level with positive affirmations and health statements and benefit statements. Things like every day in every way I'm getting better and better, whilst we're at a deeper level of mind. And we write these into our subconscious programming for a better life. So it's very, very powerful. Okay. Speak in terms of what you want. Align your words to what you want to be, do, or have, and you will receive the reflection of that. So in summary, how we speak is a habit. Awareness is the first step to change. Be aware of your inner dialogue, because we think in words. Be aware of your outer dialogue, what you say, it's in words. And try to make this unconscious habitual behavior, or how we speak, conscious. The more we make the unconscious conscious, the more awareness we have and the more we can change. Decide, just decide that you're going to think and speak positively every day, starting now. Speak in terms of what you want, speak with integrity, avoid gossip and negative talk. You're only hurting yourself, besides damaging other people's reputation. Use the power of words in the direction of truth and love, and be impeccable with your word. It determines your character, and character determines your destiny. So, my friends, that's it from the lesson tonight. Was that helpful? Do you have any comments? I'm happy to unmute all of you and ask you if you'd like to say anything at this point, and then we're going to have a guided meditation. Yes, no? 3.
Very good.
Very?
All good, thanks, Jeanine.
All good.
Good reminder.
Thank you.
Very, very inspirational, and very makes you think very deeply about how we comport ourselves on a daily basis.
Thank you for saying that. And as I said in the beginning, it's not something we don't know. We've all heard this before. However, spending an hour just talking about this really raises our awareness, because the truth is our words are creating our life, and we can just change that dialogue. We can live in heaven on earth. If we're unaware and we are negative, we can live in hell on earth, the same situation. So thank you for your feedback. And now what we're going to do is a little guided meditation. We're going to reset the body and mind. Is there any other comments, by the way? Yes or no? Yes? No? Okay. We're going to just set the intention for the month of October. Happy October. Today's the 1st of October.
Happy October. Happy October.
Thank you. So we're going to go into a meditation, which is a deeper level of mind. You're going to tune into your higher self to get inspiration. And for anyone who's new on the call or never done this before, the reason I do it this way is I want you to become aware that you can ask questions in a meditative state, and you can get answers from your higher self, or from a more inspired and intuitive place that will never guide you wrong. So let's get into it. Find yourselves a comfortable position. Have a pen and paper. If you haven't got one, quickly go grab one, and kind of sit with a pen and paper in your hand, resting on your lap. You're going to close your eyes and go into the meditation, sitting with your pen and paper in your hand. I'll take you for about 5 to 10 minutes into a relaxation, guided meditation, and at the very end, I'll ask 2 or 3 questions. And as you get answers, you just write them down, and these answers will give you wonderful insights into what you need to do in your life, Your own inner wisdom is your best guidance. So I'm going to put the camera video off quickly and put a little bit of music on. Just get comfortable and we'll begin. So find a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, allow the tensions in your body to release and float away. Take another deep breath. And as you exhale, begin to feel your body relaxing. Feel the tension leaving your scalp. I'm going to relax you from the top of your head all the way down to your toes, bit by bit. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your tongue and jaw. Relax your shoulders, arms, and hands. Take another deep breath. And as you exhale, feel the tension leaving your back. From the top of your neck all the way down to the bottom of your spine. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, relax your chest. Take another slow, deep breath, and as you exhale, relax your abdomen. Relax your hips and pelvic area. Relax your thighs. Relax your knees. Relax your calves. Relax your feet. Relax your toes. You are now experiencing a deep state of relaxation. Now you're going to create in your mind an ideal place of relaxation. It can be real or imagined, maybe somewhere that you've been or somewhere that you'd like to go. Just allow it to be a place where you feel totally relaxed. Begin to experience this place right now. Now that you've created your ideal place of relaxation, you're going to add a waterfall of white light in the scene. Place it wherever you choose. The waterfall is gentle, allowing you to stand under the cascading white light. The light is healing energy, a clearing energy. Your waterfall of light is now created. Walk over to the waterfall and stand under the healing white light. Allow the white light to swirl around you, encompassing you within its glow. Feel it clearing the stress, the tension, and the clutter of your day. Feel it clearing the stress, tension, and clutter of not only your week, the previous month, but of the previous year. Feel it clearing the stress and tension from your atmosphere, from your lifetime, from your aura. As the light clears your energy field, just notice how much happier you look. Notice the smile on your face. See how the weights you've been carrying are no longer a burden. Notice how your energy field is expanding out as you are radiating love. This waterfall of light is always available to you whenever you need it. All you need to do is close your eyes and imagine your ideal place of relaxation and immerse yourself in this healing white light. Now, take a deep breath, relax deeper, and repeat these beneficial statements to yourself mentally. Every day, in every way, I am getting better, better, and better. Positive thoughts, suggestions, and images bring me benefits and advantages I desire. I will always maintain a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. The following statements are for your better health. Keep in mind that from now on, I will occasionally be speaking in your place. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every cell, tissue, organ, and system of my body is revitalized, restored, and renewed, resulting in a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. I'm able to function in harmony physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to promote maximum benefits. My awareness in using my mind allows me to do activities that promote increased health physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now imagine the white light turns to green. You are now immersed in a glowing green light. This green light is unconditional love. It surrounds you. It encompasses you. It flows through your entire being. It fills you with love. All those hurts you felt, all those pains you felt, the angry moments, allow this green light, this unconditional love, to heal all those spaces now. You are an amazing human being. You deserve love. You deserve joy. You deserve abundance. and you deserve peace. It is now time to step out of the waterfall. Step out of the waterfall of light. Your energy field is now clean and clear. You are centered and energized. You are able to think more clearly, focus more easily. You are in the flow of universal love and energy. Take a moment now to bask in this feeling of connectedness. You have now reset your body and mind for the month. It is now time to set your intention for the month of October. Tune into your inner wisdom, your higher self. That part of you that, if you tuned in, guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you. I'm going to count backwards from 5 to 1. When we reach the count of 1, you'll have tuned in to your higher self. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are now tuned in to your own inner wisdom, excuse me, that part of you that intuitively knows what is best for you and always guides you. Feel this alignment with your higher self. Feel the connection. And now ask yourself the following questions. What do I need to focus on for the month of October? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. Don't judge it, just write it down. And then take a deep breath and close your eyes and just re-enter your meditative state. What do I need to focus on for the month of October? Next question. Ask yourself, what steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? What steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. Next question. What do I need to let go of? What do I need to let go of or release? Just write down your first impressions. And lastly, ask yourself, is there anything else I need to know or do? Is there anything else I need to know or do? Now allow a deep breath, and as you exhale, relax. Slowly bring your attention back to your body. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and have a big stretch. Okay, welcome back. Was it good?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So I hope you got some valuable answers. If you did find that helpful, I'm very pleased. You can share if you want to share. Anybody want to share anything? No? Yes? Maybe? Say that again, sorry. I never heard that. Whoever spoke, I never heard that. Can you please repeat that? Can't hear you now. Okay. We'll just move on.
Yes, it was very helpful.
Great, good. I just want to remind you that you can do this anytime on your own. To go into a deep meditative state, just relax and breathe slowly and focus on your breath until you're very calm, and ask yourself these very same questions, and you'll get answers, or any question that you're holding in your mind. You'll be amazed at the ability to tune in to your higher self when your subconscious mind is slowed down and hopefully actually shut down totally, just being very relaxed. Okay, just to wrap up. Yeah?
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Do you think that when we first wake up in the morning, when you're very relaxed and you're the very first thoughts that come into your head in the morning, do you think those are thoughts that are guiding you, or, you know, is that your true intuition at that moment, or do you think it's, do you follow what I'm asking, or am I not asking?
So what I can say is, no, it's not your intuition or higher wisdom necessarily. It may be. It depends. So I'll answer it this way. The way you go to sleep at night is generally the way you wake up. So when you emerge or you slip into below the level of consciousness and you're going to sleep into alpha, into theta, into delta when you sleep, however you went to sleep. So if you went to sleep, just as an example, worrying about something, you're going to wake up and those thoughts will come back. You'll re-emerge into consciousness where you left it off. That is why people say if you're going to do gratitude journaling, do it at night to go to sleep with appreciation and gratitude, because it's better for your sleep and for your subconscious mind to marinate in feelings of appreciation. It'll also help you wake up grateful. The other thing I'll say is when you wake up in the morning, you are at a place of very little resistance. You haven't got this momentum of negative thoughts, which you have during the day. So if a person wants to meditate, the best time to meditate, if you could only do it once a day, do it first thing in the morning, because when you come out of alpha, you're in a state of least resistance. However, from the first thought that you have, if you don't go to meditate and slow the mind down and give that pause whilst you're conscious, and you just start without meditation, thinking a thought, whatever that thought is going to attach itself to another thought, and you start to gain momentum again. It doesn't mean necessarily it's your inner wisdom. It may be, but I can't say necessarily it is. The best thing is to rather have an intention, go into meditation with that question and literally ask for guidance and be at a very relaxed place, and guidance will come. That I would say would be intuitive guidance.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay.
Thank
that
you.
help?
That's
all right.
Yep.
Good.
Yes.
Thanks for the question. Okay, so just quickly to round off, it's getting a bit late now. Next event, so Meaningful Monday, the next one's on the 5th of November. It's about acceptance versus expectation. It's really about acceptance. It's a very, very powerful understanding of how you can transform your life with acceptance, as opposed to living with expectation breeds frustration.
Ons kan nou die pakkie haal en 'n bietjie bestuur en so.
Then Mind, Body, Spirit, 4 to 7 October in Darling Harbour at the ICC International Convention Centre. Please, folks, come past. If you're not volunteering on this call, to help in the booth, some of you are. Thank you very much if you're one of them. I know Marie is, so thank you very much. Otherwise, please come past and visit. 4th to 7th of October, I have a booth there, and I'd love to see you. So definitely, you'll love the Mind, Body, Spirit. If you haven't been before, it's one of the best festivals ever. And then Silva Method, the next live training is in November. It's the 4-day immersion, 22 to 25 November. The class is filling up quite quickly. So if anyone is interested, please contact me this week. We have quite a lot of bookings already. So I just want to know if you want to be in and reserve yourself a place. Otherwise, my friends, thank you very much. It's been wonderful this evening. Just for those of you who may not have listened to this presentation before, it's on my YouTube channel, The 4 Key Skills to Take Charge of Your Life, based on the Silva Method. Very valuable, lots of tips to help you. Otherwise, that's it from me. I'm going to quickly stop the recording